Hello again, this is Lori, and we are going to go step by step through the Thanksgiving card, or I'm sorry, the Giving Thanks card from the black letter cartridge on the Gypsy. The first thing you need to do is turn on your Gypsy and open a new project. And I usually select 12 by 12 size because that's what I use. If you use the 6 by 12 size, still open up a 12 by 12 mat, and we will switch that later before we get ready to cut. Alright, we're going to touch the keypad in the bottom right hand corner. That's going to take us to our cartridges, and we do not need Songbird, so we're going to touch right here next to the name of the cartridge, and we will get a listing of the cartridges. Now, I like to use just my linked cartridges, although you can choose to view all the cartridges, which shows you in the black what you own and in the red what you do not own. If you are looking for specific cartridges that you've used in a project, you can use this one. Ours would be blank because we haven't started our project yet. So we are on the link cartridges, and we're going to go down to black letter, which is right here. Okay, here we are, and we are going to hit the shift key. And I cannot find a way to focus this really well, so I'm going to try something different this time. Okay, so we need this image that is right here on the bottom, the fourth one over from the left. We need one of those, and we need to go to our matte screen. And we're going to make this one 4.25 by, or I'm sorry, yeah, 4.25 width by 5.12. I usually just look for the height, get it the height that I want. And when I did this, I know I just used this button there to make it easier, so now we're at 5.12. Okay, we're totally not even focusing here. Okay, this is going to drive me crazy, and I apologize until I get this figured out. It might be a little fuzzy. Okay, so we've got this at 5.12 height. Okay, so we are going to, yellow, we're going to move it up here, and we're going to copy it 2 times. How we copy is we go to the advanced menu and hit the copy button, and then drag that one over here, copy one more, and drag that one down there. Okay. Now, page 2. I need like 5 hands here. Alright, so we moved one of the frames down to the bottom. The other 2 need to be side by side. Now this is how you get them lined up perfectly. You take a look on the basic menu at your X and Y coordinate. Now if you can't read it, your X is 0.80 or mine is, and the Y is 5.79. On this one, we're at 5.71 for the Y coordinate, which is the one we want matched. So 5.79, we keep moving it forward. We're going to change this to 5.79. And you can do that by tapping the keypad and do 5.79, okay. And then we're going to be on the same line. Now, we need this one here scooched in that way, so we are just going to scooch it in until that they are touching, and the line between them has kind of blurred. It's turned yellow actually. So we are overlapped, but we don't want to do anything else. Well, the first thing we want to do is we want to hide contour this inner cut, because we want that to be the solid side, and this is going to be the front of our card. So we go to the advanced menu, and because this shape here is blue, we've highlighted it, we're going to hide contour. It's going to bring up our shape, and the piece that's red is the piece that we would like to hide. So we just hit hide. Now if we weren't sure, maybe we want the other one, you can hit next and find out all your options, or you can even tap on them. And if you tap on them right, they will. Okay, it's making a liar out of me. It worked for me one other time. We'll just go with this. We want the inner one hidden, so we hide it, and it kind of, it's still there. It's just a very faint line. We hit OK. And again, it's still here. It's kind of a gray line. But if we were to go to double check this to the basic menu and hit cut, you can see clearly that it will only be cutting the outside line. Okay, so as clearly as you can because it's blurry. That's beside the point. Okay, but we want to exit out of this. And now we're ready to weld these two pieces together. So first we have to group them. Now this one is blue, this one is black. So we touch our group button and we join the black piece into the blue piece and we've got one big group. And then we go to the advanced menu. We hit weld and we hit preview. And you can see where it's red, it will cut. So it will not be cutting in between and it will not be cutting that inner cut. Take the preview off. You're good to go. Now, I'm looking at my notes to see what we did here. We've already welded. Now we're going to add the design. I wasn't sure which I did as the next step. Okay, so down here I'm going to tap the mat so the design goes here. Okay, we're going to go back to our mat, to our keypad, and the design that I chose was this one right here on the end. And I want it to be the same size. No, I do not want it the same size. So here I don't know what size I want if I'm just creating this for the first time. So I move it to the middle and then I make it bigger until it's the size that I want. Now I know by my notes that I want it 3.47 inches tall, which you can't see from the advanced menu. You've got to go back to basic. So perfect. We're at 3.47, and the width is 3.27. So then we just need to use the arrow key to move it where we want it so that it's kind of in the middle, overlapping about the same on the four corners. I like it there, so I need to group this with the rest of the card, turn it all blue, go to the advanced menu. You can see here it's partially welded because the two pieces are welded. The third piece we're going to weld right now, and we're going to take a look. And you can see that our card is done welding. That's very nice. Okay, we have to take off that preview before we can do anything else. Now you can always zoom in by holding this button down and tapping the screen at the same time if this is too small of a screen for you. We are going to now make the insert, which is going to be just this inner cut of this one to go on the inside of this piece so we can have some different color. So we're already at the advanced menu. We're going to tap this shape here, this frame, and we're going to go to hide contour, and this time we want the other side hidden. So there it's hidden. Okay. Now again, it's hard to tell because my camera's a little blurry, but again, if we go to the basic menu and hit cut, you can see where it's going to cut, and you can see that this here is going to fit inside there. Okay? Then the last thing we need to do is put our letters on here. Now I'm going to go back to the keypad. Well, wait a minute. Before I do that, I'd like to make sure that my cursor is kind of out of the way. There we go. And we need to take the shift off because I want lowercase letters. Now, you can always adjust your own project. That's never a problem. We're going to have give on the top and then thanks down below. And I'll show you why I do that, or I'll tell you why I do that. THANKS. And what I want to do is I want to kind of line these up. I'm going to try to bring that a little closer. There we go. I would like the thanks to come up a little bit and the give to go over and kind of eyeball it. I'm not the best eyeballer in the world, but sometimes it's okay. There we go. We want it maybe a little closer. I'm cutting it out this way, exactly how I want it lined up on the inside of the card so that I can use the scrap piece of paper as a template. Okay, now if you would like to, you can group these. You don't have to, but if you group them, then I can take them over and make sure they fit nice inside the lining of the card, the liner. So there you have the card designed. And then what you do, if you have a 6 by 12 mat, you need to change your mat size. Before you do that, you need to open a second layer, which is this little purple button here with a plus sign on it. We'll open up layer 2. Go back to layer 1. Now this is goofy because when you switch this, when you convert this to 6 by 12, it's the bottom half of the mat where your images are going to be. So we want to highlight the top half, go to layer 2, and from the advanced menu, we are going to copy that up there. But we don't want it up there, we want to scooch it down here. Okay, and then we're going to go back to layer 1. Go back to layer 1. Ever since I updated my stylus and my Gypsy are just a little bit out of sync. Okay, here we go. I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to go back to the keypad because all of the images are up in queue, and this is the only way I found to erase them. You just hit the backspace key, and you go back here, and voila, they're gone. Okay, so everything I want is on the bottom half of 2 different mats. Then we go to this silver button. We hit change mat size and go down to 12 by 6. And there you have it. Layer 1 is the inside. Layer 2 is the outside. Now, one quick thing I will show you here. If you're on layer 2, we're on layer 1. And what if we don't want to see layer 2? Because if you open up several layers, it's going to give you a headache. So you can just touch the eyeball and close it, and then voila, it's hidden. Okay, open it back up, and there you go. And then we put our paper on our mats and we cut, and we are in great shape. Thank you, ladies. We'll see you later.